Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Pressing Positivity. First, I want to say I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone had a good day, and happy Thanksgiving to those Americans listening and the few other countries who have adopted Thanksgiving tradition. I think that today is the perfect time to talk about being thankful and the expectations around being thankful. I am thankful for my life. I am thankful that I'm alive. I'm thankful that I'm healthy. And sometimes things happen that I'm not thankful for. And I think that when we talk about being thankful, people often assume that when we say something that we're not thankful for, that makes us ungrateful for the things that we are thankful for. But, I think that humans are complex creatures and we are capable of feeling more than one thing at a time. We have complex emotions. We have more than one emotion. If something bad happens, that doesn't mean that you're not grateful for the rest of your life because you're taking a minute to feel not good about something that happened. I feel like there's so much pressure sometimes around the holidays to be happy. You often see a lot of family that you don't often see. And, there's pressure to kind of put on a brave face and feel happy for them. And I think that it makes us more alienated. I think that, the expectation is to seem happy, to be grateful, to be thankful, to give, And I think that it makes us more alienated to feel like we have to kind of wear a mask that whole time. And for some of us, it's kind of a relief, I guess, because for some of us, if our families knew what is going on in our minds, they would be really concerned. And I just feel like, sometimes you don't feel good. And having to pretend that you do feel good is so exhausting. So let's take a minute here. Let's take a minute in our lives here and now and just let ourselves know that it's okay to feel. It's okay to have a shitty time. It's okay that you're not perfect and that you're not having a good time right now or whenever you're not having a good time. I remember when I was a kid and, someone asked me what I'm thankful for on Thanksgiving. And that year was a hard year, even as a kid. And I didn't have a lot to be thankful for. That didn't mean I was ungrateful. It just meant that I was, having a bit of a moment. And I remember this lady, she was an older lady, telling me that, oh, well, you should be thankful for this and you should be thankful for that. But someone telling you how to feel doesn't really ever work, does it? It doesn't change your feelings. And it's okay. It's okay to take a moment and have your feelings. It's okay to process how you feel in your own time. It's okay to some days not feel thankful, even though you have stuff in your life that you do feel thankful for. But sometimes you just can't, and that is okay. You can't change the way that people react to your feelings. You can't change the things that other people say to you, especially family members, because they're going to be who they're going to be. But you can change the way that you feel about how people react, what they say, how they treat you. You can change the way that you feel about that. That's what you're in control of. And you should take control of that. You should take control to know that sometimes people say shitty things. Sometimes people, even if they're supposed to be close to you, aren't able to support you in the way that you need to be supported. But you can find a place where you can get that support and where you can be yourself. And that's the most important thing to remember. Just kind of nothing, you know? I think that if you ask someone how they are or how was their day, you should be interested in the answer. I think that we should, be looking for a more meaningful conversation than just basic things. I want to talk for a minute about the question, how are you? How are you is my least favorite question because it's almost always just someone being polite. They don't care about the answer to how are you. They don't want to know actually how you are. And I find it the opposite of polite, to be honest. I don't often ask people how they are, but when I do, I 100% want to know the real answer about how they are. If it's good or if it's bad. But typically, people don't want to deal with if you're having a bad time. And so they ask, how are you, as a politeness, and they expect you to say that you're fine or you're good or you're whatever. But again, it's more alienating than it is connecting. It's not bringing you closer to anyone. It's making you feel more alone because you just feel like you can't say the real answer. So I really hate that question. I really hate it. And I think that we should stop using it in such a way that makes it so, you know, common and so just empty. People call it exchanging pleasantries. I call it exchanging emptiness. So, anyways, like I was saying, humans are complex, emotional beings with intellectual and emotional needs. And it strikes me as strange that most of our daily interactions with other people do not fulfill our needs, either intellectually or emotionally. And it just is all so empty. It's so empty. Our, typical interactions that we're having on a daily basis, even if we're close with someone that we're talking to, it's so limited to just basic, basic conversation, exchanging pleasantries, being, polite, as they call it, when I think that we just need something a little more sometimes. And that's okay. But for me, this is what happens in the holidays. It's your interactions are supposed to be meaningful because you're with people that you love and you care about. But sometimes it can just be a little empty, especially now, I think, after there was quarantine and for a year and for some people 2 years and for some people even this year, we weren't able to have gatherings. And I think that it's hard for people to kind of get back in that groove where they were before. And that's okay. That's okay. It can take time. And for some people, life has changed forever. And, it's about finding a way to adapt to that because typically humans avoid change. They don't want to change because change is scary, change is unknown. And when we're forced into changing, the way that we adapt isn't always in our best interests. But what you can do is you can control you, and you can control your own social interactions. You can control if you care or not when you're asking someone how they are or how they're doing. You can control what you do during the holidays and how you are around your family. You have control of all of those things. And if you're having a bad day, if you didn't get to see your family today or something went wrong, or just if you're feeling bad, then know that it's just for now. It's not forever. And if you had a great day, if you're really happy, just spread some love around. Just do one nice thing for somebody. It could make a world of difference for that person. And I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you next time.